What's up, everyone? So, today I really want to cover a very important topic. Whether you're a Pokemon collector, you're a Pokemon investor, whether you're just buying Pokemon cards for your son or daughter, whatever the case may be, and that is identifying fake Pokemon cards. Now, obviously, if you're a collector or an investor, you want to make sure you have real Pokemon cards if you're going to be, investing and selling them later. And even if you're not investing or collecting per se, if you're just buying stuff for your kid, obviously you want to make sure that if you're going to pay 10 bucks for a card, 15 bucks for a card, 5 bucks for a card, that you're getting an actual Pokemon card, that you're not getting something fake. And obviously this has been an issue with Pokemon cards since the beginning. This is not something new, but especially with the rise in Pokemon popularity over the last 12 months, it's something that I think people are starting to see a little more often. In fact, we had something happen just a few months ago where there was a whole booster box, a first edition booster box base set that was fake, or it was like resealed. And so we're not going to get into like resealed items. We're just going to talk about cards in and of themselves, how to identify whether or not they are real. And so let's get started looking at some cards and let me show you what to look for. All right, so we do have cards that were sent to me from a friend. Shout out to Ryan. And he was questioning whether some of these were real, and so I'm glad he sent them to me so I could take a look at them. But let's just go ahead and take a look at a few of these cards. I already have looked through them, but let me show you what to look for. Now, these first ones, these are reverse holo cards. They look pretty legit. Now, what to look for if you're just looking at regular cards, this is honestly going to be like a 3-cent card, 5-cent card. And so, most likely you're not going to come across too many fake versions of this card per se. But let's just look at this. So some ways to identify, you want to look at the back. Look at the back, you want to, and if you have Pokemon cards that you know are real, I highly suggest bringing them out to compare. So let's actually do that real quick. Let me pull up one of my cards that I know is real. So this is a Mega Rayquaza EX. This is a card that I pulled myself, and you can compare the backs. The backs, the artwork looks the same. The coloring looks the same. This one's going to have a slight, actually, let me pull this out of the sleeve so you can see, because you're going to see it's slightly different when it's out of the sleeve. There we go. Now they look better. They actually look like twinners, if this will focus. Okay, so the coloring is one of the things you want to look for, because when you have a fake card, the coloring is going to be different. And so, again, I already looked through these, but unfortunately, more than half the cards that you sent were fake. So let's just compare. This Leafeon GX is a really cool looking card from the front. If you were just to see this maybe on Facebook Marketplace, from one picture you might think, oh yeah, that looks real, that looks legit. But from the back, and hopefully I have good enough lighting for this, but the coloring is just a little different. And not only that, and man, I don't think the camera's capturing it quite enough, but you can tell if you were holding this that this just looks like it was like someone took the picture of the back of the card and just printed it onto a piece of cardboard, which I know technically that's what happens. That's what they do in the factories. But again, I don't think I'm getting a very good picture quality on this. But if you could just, let me see if you can tell on the camera. Hopefully you guys can tell, but there's just a difference in the quality. You can tell this is a legit card. It's just crisp, it's clean, it's clear. This one, there's a slight fuzz to it, a slight pixelation almost. And so that is one way you can identify if it's a fake card. It just looks like someone copied and printed and pasted it from like their computer. Okay, so that's one way to figure out if you have a fake card. Another way is to feel the card. So this has a very thick feeling, like it's just thicker than your normal card. Like this, let's actually take another one. Oh, let's just look at this one. Mega Rayquaza. It is, if you were to take both cards, both are a similar type of card. They're both ultra rare, albeit different sets and everything, and one's an EX, one's a GX, but if you just were to feel them, you're just going to feel there's a difference. This one is much harder. It's just you can tell that the material is very different, which again, that's not always an indication that is a fake card, but it just feels different, because sometimes Pokemon does have different materials for their cards, but it just feels like it's not a real Pokemon card. Okay, next way to identify, and hopefully this will focus. Okay, might have a little bit of a hard time focusing. I might have to just go to the other camera for a sec. And let me see if it'll focus there or not. We might not be able to focus. Maybe you can see. You might be able to see it right there. But if you take the cards and just look at the side right here, yeah, this isn't focusing. A real card, what you want to look for is almost like a very, very tiny black layer in the card in the middle. Because with a real Pokemon card, and I'm going to sleep this back up because I really like this card. But with a real Pokemon card, there are basically 2 layers, or rather 3 layers almost, to a card. You have the back layer, top layer, and then almost like this black film or black ink in the middle. That is going to be in every single real card. A fake card is usually just one piece of cardboard. There's not going to be 2 layers to it, and so there won't be any black to it. Here's another fake card that I found when I bought someone's collection. And again, doing the test on it, it just feels fake. You can just tell, like right there, hopefully you guys can tell, the coloring is definitely different between these two. This one is just so much lighter. Again, it looks like someone just slapped the Pokemon logo, this logo onto like Word and then tried printing it out. But it again feels different, very different material, and no black in the middle. Now, I don't mind doing this to this card because it's not real, but if you were to take one of these cards and just open them up, rip them up open, you see that there is no black in the middle. It's just nothing, white. Versus if you were to take, okay, so this is one of my own cards. Ryan, if you're watching this is not one of yours, so don't worry, this is for my own collection. But if you take a real card, this is, again, one that I pulled myself, and I'm sorry, Dupiter, but for the video and for example's sake, boom, there you go. You see a difference? See how there's that black in the middle? And as soon as you rip it, you can see that versus, again, this card that we ripped, fake, and there is no black. So, worst case scenario, if you think you have a bunch of fake cards, take one that is a common card and rip it in half and see if there is the black. Again, I would not suggest doing this for if you think that that you have a rare card that might be fake, just in case, get it, maybe double check with someone else who has more experience. But that is like worst case scenario, what you can do to figure out whether or not you have a fake card or a real card. And I did go through these already by myself, and these cards all on this side are real. We went ahead and double checked. We did not rip any of them because again, these are not my cards, but these are real cards. So again, if we take this Mega Venusaur and you want to check, is this a real card? I kind of felt it, feels real, looks real, the coloring looks fine. Back, everything looks great. Again, you can't really tell from the camera or with the camera, but the middle, that on the side, it looks like it has the black and everything. And now this card, super sweet card, unfortunately has a bend right there, but very, very cool card. Another thing you can do for a lot of these ultra rare cards, not every ultra rare card, keep that in mind, but many of these ultra rare cards have a sort of a texture to the card. So this one's a little beat up, but if you know, for example, this Primal Groudon EX card is supposed to have texture, and so you can go ahead and feel the card like, okay, that has a texture. Because what people do when they make fake cards, they can't duplicate that. What they do is they take, for example, this card, they put into some kind of copying machine, scan it, and then they take the scan and print it onto a card. And so obviously with a scan, you're not going to duplicate that, again, what's the word for it? That texture on the card. Now again, not every ultra rare has that texture. This is an NDDV card, and that has no texture. That just has the glossiness to it. But again, look on the back, feel it, look on the side, and it looks great. That's real. So just going through these real quick. These were real, 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 real. Thank goodness so many of these were real, not all of them were fake. And as a side note, and here you go, texture on the Snorlax VMAX. As a side note, keep in mind that your kids will probably end up getting fake cards from other kids. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes what happens is that, either maybe a parent goes and looks for a deal online, maybe on eBay, or, they're traveling in Japan and they happen to come across some, old shop and they pick up some cards that are super cheap, and it turns out that they're fake cards. And so again, if a deal looks too good, seems too good to be true, 99% of the time it probably is. And so definitely if you're going to buy cards, especially if you're going to put down a decent amount, and decent amount is relative, for you that might be $5 for a card, that might be $100, that might be $500, whatever it might be, double check the card. Like if you can, make sure you have an appointment or a chance to actually feel the card. Again, this is a hyper rare. This does have texture on it and it looks good. Back looks good, side looks good. And so if I was buying this card, this isn't a super expensive card, but if I had the opportunity, I would want to actually hold the card and, feels real, looks real, we're good. And then I would purchase it. If you are purchasing from someone online, I would ask for pictures, videos, if possible. Again, depends on how much you're putting down. If it's like a 50-cent card and it ends up being fake, I probably lose 50 cents like in my pocket, like, like all the times. And so 50 cents might not be too much of a worry. But if you're buying a card that's like $5, $6, $20, you probably want to make sure it's real. Okay, and then this pile is the fake pile. Unfortunately, let's go ahead and look through these real quick. If you are familiar with the card that you are buying, you can just tell some of the coloring is just off. Again, you can't always tell from pictures off of eBay or Facebook Marketplace, and so that's why I say, get more pictures from different angles. Also, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm 99% sure because I had this card, this Garchomp EX. This is a promo card, and right here it has the promo logo right there. I am 99% sure, maybe I should have double checked this beforehand, that the promo was supposed to be on this side. Now, I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But also, even if that's not the case, check for errors on the card. There are such things as error cards, but is the promo on the wrong side? Is it the wrong name? Like, there literally are cards that have the wrong name. Like, it's like, okay, that's definitely a fake card. But yeah, definitely look. And again, if you want double check, definitely fake from looking at the back. Because honestly, unfortunately, at this point, these sleeves are more valuable than the cards that are actually in them, which, oh man, it's so unfortunate because had these been real cards, this Mega Charizard, this Charizard, honestly, Venusaur, so many cool cards. And that's usually what happens. You have a kid trading with other kids, or someone who, unfortunately, there are unethical people. So unfortunately, this happened that maybe someone intentionally has some fake cards, makes fake cards, buys fake cards, and then trades them with a kid, trades them with someone else who isn't educated on cards. And so that's kind of how these get circulated. Now, I do want to talk about one more thing, and that is buying fake cards. Again, if a deal looks too good to be true, odds are that it is. So this is a box I bought off of eBay. If you can find this listing probably still on eBay, but it said GX box, 100 pieces, 100 GX cards, EX cards. And I think it was like $3 from China, something like that. Now, obviously, that is going to be a big red flag. That is definitely a deal that is too good to be true. I bought these knowing they were not going to be real, but just wanted to buy them for example's sake. And so let's actually pull these out. And also just to put things in perspective, because again, if you're unfamiliar, if you're a parent buying cards for your kid, like $100, or she's not $100, 100 cards for $2 seems like a great deal. Yeah, well, each one of these cards should be at minimum, like a very minimum, should probably be a $3 card. And so at minimum, 100 GX cards that are supposedly brand new would run you, you know, at least like $300 at minimum. Okay, let's see if I can get this open. All right, so let's see what I got for $2 or $3. Okay, oh, this is actually perfect. So actually, yeah, this is perfect. This is a M Venusaur EX, and remember, we actually have a real one right here. Look at the difference in coloring. That is a huge difference. This fake one is so much darker than this. This is actually perfect. I was not expecting there to be a Venusaur in here. So let's just look, compare. You can see this one is a lot sharper in quality and image, and this one definitely looks like they took this and simply printed it onto here. They scanned this card and printed it onto this this fake one. And look, it's just so much darker. Like this, you cannot deny that's a fake card. Let's look at the back. Again, you see some coloring differences. Hopefully you guys can tell on the camera. But there's just a difference in color. If you were to hold this, there's a huge difference in feel. This one is a lot more, like, kind of softer, so to speak, and this one is just a lot harder. And then in the middle, you can't really tell on the camera, but again, let's just do this. Oh, look at that. Yeah, that's totally fake. Because look at that. There's no black, and then also there's just this film. Like, like what in the world? It's like the image wasn't even actually printed onto the card. It was printed onto like this film and then put on the card. That is so weird. But yeah, fake card. This is the real one for sure. There you go. Sorry, Venusaur. You can't even rip it. What in the world? So let's look at a few more of these. Again, all these should. Oh, look at that, Gardevoir GX. Gardevoir, man, I'd be rolling in the dough if these were all real. And as a side note, hopefully there's no one thinking about doing anything unethical by watching this. But keep in mind that if you do try selling fake cards to others, you'll get a bad reputation real quick. And odds are you will not be able to fool an actual collector. Umbreon. Again, now this isn't always the case, but again, I'm 90% certain that these hyper rares should have texture on them. And look, it's just, there's no texture. No texture, no kind of texture on any of these supposedly hyper rare cards. And so, again, guys, make sure you're doing your research. Make sure, oh, look, we pulled a Charizard. No way, we pulled a Charizard. Woohoo, and I only paid $2 for it. Guys, let's go get this graded. I bet that's a PSA 10 for sure. Oh, man. And another Charizard. What is our luck? I'm actually curious to see what's in the other side, because that's only 50 cards. We're actually going to open up the other one, and let's just see what we pull. We got this next pack open, or pack, whatever you want to call them. Oh, Ash Greninja. All right. Ooh, another Charizard. More Charizard. What is our luck? Umbreon, Incineroar. Oh, man. If only these were real. Okay. Drampa. Doesn't he look like the freaking, I don't even know what it was, that dragon thing from the Land Before Time? I can't be the only one who thinks that. This is totally a Land Before Time creature. Drampa GX. But yeah, we pulled lots of Charizards. Ooh, look, Sylveon GX. Oh, and look again, Alolan GX. Let's look at the real one. We have the real one over here. Look again, you can just tell there is a huge difference in coloring. One is darker. The other one is, well, lighter. If you were to feel both them holding them at the same time, this one is a lot stiffer. This one has a little more elasticity, so to speak, if that makes sense. The backs, yeah, just different coloring. Definitely fake. And then, is it going to be weird again? Yep, it's like printed on this little film, whatever. But where were we? Oh yeah, look at all these sweet cards. But yeah, okay. There you go. All right, guys, we pulled a Charizard. Well, how about that? Because yeah, definitely, guys. Well, I mean, again, just looking at it, it's fake. Just pull up a picture on the internet, and you'll see that it just looks different. But yeah, also there's no way anyone in their right mind would give you this card along with 99 other cards for only like $2 or $3. So keep in mind, again, I don't think these people who I bought them from, I'm trying to remember, I don't think they were trying necessarily to deceive anyone, so to speak. They did have it as an unbranded cards. And if you see cards that are unbranded, that means they are not real cards. You might other names you might see for fake cards are proxy. Why can't I remember any other words? But proxy. If you guys know any other words for fake cards, put them down in the comments so we can help out the community. But I know if you see cards that say proxy, those are fake cards. One thing that has kind of bothered me a little bit is seeing people sell proxy cards for a good amount of money, and I'm like, guys, don't buy these. Like, why would you buy a proxy card for like $60? It's literally like a 50-cent card or $2 card. You can get one made for you for like $2. And so no reason to be spending tons of money on a proxy card. No matter, even if it's a Charizard card, like don't buy a freaking proxy card for $60 or $30 or even $15. You can get one probably for like $5 if you really, really want a proxy card. That's it. That's all I got, guys. And so hopefully that was helpful to everyone. Again, remember, look for coloring, look for how's it feel, look for the middle, that black part, and in worst case scenario, open up the card or grab one of the cards that aren't very rare and bust it open, see that you see the black in it. Well, hopefully that's helpful to you guys. If you have any other tips on how to identify fake cards, go ahead and put them down in the comments. We want to make sure that we're helping out the community, that we're making sure that we're taking care of each other. And of course, never sell a fake card. Seriously, guys, make sure you're being ethical. Make sure you're being good to the community, to others, because life is just better when you are kind, when you're taking care of each other. And so that's all I got for today. If you have any other questions regarding cards, how to identify fake ones, if you have any questions on how to find cards in 2021, let me know and I will go ahead and answer those questions or make more videos to answer the questions. And so have a fantastic day, night, whenever you're watching this, peoples. I love you. Take care.